Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This year, when it comes to like Pokemon scalping, well, just scalping in general is probably the most funniest thing this year has ever happened. Like, is it bad? Yes, it is pretty bad what's been happening with Pokemon, with like Pokemon in general or so. I feel pretty sad or so that, they have to face, they have to deal with these people, them selling, basically scalping these fucking plastic cardboard boxes to make ends meet, basically, or trying to make a hustle. But let's be honest here. It's pretty fucking funny. Sneakerheads are something else. Are they something else? Do they still sell sneakers, or did some people just give up selling sneakers?
Jordan won 6 months ago, but now with the sneaker market sucked dry of all profitability and collapsing under the weight of their own greed, these unemployed opportunists have moved on to scalping colorful pieces of cardboard. You want to
Thank God I just collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Thank freaking God. That's all I really collect personally. Ah! The video disappeared. Where'd it go? Here you go. I don't know why it does that sometimes. And don't forget that co-sister goes to town on someone in JP for... No, she doesn't. Shut the fuck up. No, she does not. Okay, alright?
to know how I know that? I mean, well, just look at the majority of these scalpers.
This is the problem with the market. People buy the supplies and think that next schmuck in line will pay up. What happens when there is no buyers? You're stuck with holding useless inventory. That's true.
What they're wearing, the same brands that you would see in the sneaker world. There's really no need to explain further. I think we all know where I'm going to be getting at in this video, because if you've been to any Target, you've seen it firsthand. Shelves are either completely cleared out or left in disarray, with grown men waiting by the stock room, ready to scoop up entire shipment pallets the moment they hit the floor. This is disgusting levels of greed. Pokemon scalping has exploded in popularity over the last few months, and that's never a good thing. At least not for people who actually enjoy the hobby, because while scalpers are flipping booster sets for 3 times the price of retail, actual fans, parents, collectors, and children are being squeezed out. People who just want to...
That's crazy, dude, to see how these people, these grown-ass men just buying these cards or so and not even leaving some for the kids.
Relive a little bit of their childhood or pass that experience down to their own children, are instead being priced out by people who see Pikachu as a payday. Scalping has
This is straight up jobless behavior, that's all I gotta say. This is literally just straight up just jobless behavior.
Completely stripped away the fun, the accessibility, and the soul of Pokemon. And unfortunately, in the current market, it's not about catching them all anymore. It's about buying them all and flipping
them. Yeah, I remember the ancient Mew card from yesterday. Why? What's up? What happened?
As fast as possible to the highest desperate bidder. Resale culture isn't about passion. It's about profit, status, and short-term dopamine. These people bounce from sneakers to Pokemon cards or to whatever's next, not because they...
Oh, thank God that Yu-Gi-Oh does not get affected by this. Thank freaking God. But at the same time, if it did actually happen to Yu-Gi-Oh, I probably would be the most richest girl around here, to be honest. Games suck, cards are screwed, and the franchise is doomed. Yeah, if I remember correctly, they don't do reprints on Pokemon cards. I think that's the problem. If they did reprints on these Pokemon cards, then the volatile marketplace would probably go down. Yu-Gi-Oh is next? No, Yu-Gi-Oh is not going to become next because they have so many reprints on it. That's why.
But because they are chasing the next flip. Scalpers are like fentanyl junkies, addicted to artificial highs, feeding off the rush of
snatching up never happened to Magic the Gathering
before anyone else can.
Why are you coping there? Why are you drinking the cope drink over there?
And watching them hoard cartloads of Pokemon cards like ravenous Snorlaxes isn't a hustle or a flex that they think it is. It's just greed in plain sight.
Oh
Once the sneaker market dried up, they didn't stop. They just pivoted to booster packs because psychologically flipping...
My man is literally buying the entire roster of the booster packs from a gas station.
Gives them the illusion of control, like they're smarter, faster, ahead of the curve because they are able to camp in lines in front of Target for hours only when allowed inside, any human decency left is disregarded, and the scalper's primal feral instincts fully take over. It's not collecting for them, it's converting culture into cash and nostalgia into inventory. And sure, on paper, yeah, I guess it makes sense. You know what? It's low risk and it's fast money, but underneath, it's emptiness. These aren't fans. These aren't collectors. They're addicted to their hypothetical grind. But I'm sorry, scalpers. You'll never get rich reselling colorful pieces of cardboard. And if you think that, then, well, I mean, I know why you're doing it anyway. You're not the smartest. They treat these hobbies like the stock market and communities like competition. It's the same cycle every single time.
Yeah, like for me specifically, like I collect the cards and everything like that because of the pretty artwork and everything, right? Which is Yu-Gi-Oh, of course. I've collected Yu-Gi-Oh. Sometimes sometimes I don't collect for maybe like a year or two, maybe 3 or so, but then I'll come back to it and collect again. And at least like I can go buy the cards that I want to go buy, or the booster box, or the booster packs, at least, without having any issues. And even then, do I check the prices on my cards? I do check the prices on my cards, but I don't really sell them. I just still keep them personally. Like I still have like a box of common cards. I still have like, I think like three or four folders of hollows in them. So I have a lot of them since like the original starter deck, which was Yugi, Kaiba, and Joey Wheeler. And then that's pretty much about it. So yeah.
No matter what these scalpers are scalping, they enter.
Your sister's adventures of getting packs would be on par with One Piece, and action packed with One Piece. Well, the funny thing about it, at least where we live specifically, nobody's fighting for cards over here. Like nobody's like, there's really like not really any lines for Pokemon cards. There's not really like Pokemon cards or packs or boxes sold out on the shelves. I guess like maybe like we went to one place and it was like there wasn't any, but like we went to like other stores, like even the local card shop or so, they still have like, they had like rows of fucking boxes, and like they had booster packs and like all this other shit. So there were still fucking Pokemon cards there. So
exploit and then exit, and guess what? What's left behind? Inflated prices, empty shelves, and a ruined experience for the people
here, because I bought this for my sister, and my older brother bought me like 2 booster boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Let me see, hold on, let me see if I can show you guys. Let me see, let's go to TCG player real fast. Pokemon, it was how do I look at the sets? Oh, here we go. I think it was this one, I think. The scalpers haven't come to your block yet? I don't know, we haven't seen anything like that. Oh, hold on, I think it's this one, I think. Oh. I think it's that one. I think it's this one right here. Can I see the box for this real quick? Yeah, I bought this booster box. Yeah, this is the booster box that I bought for my sister. Yeah, I bought this one. It was only like $100. I bought it for my sister, so yeah, I bought it on my sister for my yeah. Could have I've used that money for the Sonic Cross World thing? Yeah, I could have used it, but then like my sister wanted it, you know, and I was kind of wanting to buy the booster boxes for Yu-Gi-Oh, but then I sacrificed, you know, my booster box for Yu-Gi-Oh cards for my sister, and I bought it for her. My brother saw me eyeing on the booster boxes, and then he bought it for me, so that's the reason why. So
really actually care. Resale culture might look clever from the outside, but really everyone, it's just a culture getting gutted and sold off piece by piece by piece. And the worst part, it's the consumers, not the ones giving in and buying from the scalpers at these inflated prices, but the ones with genuine passion, a long-time love for something that's not just nostalgic, but deeply personal. These are the people—
because technically, one of my viewers donated money to me to get Sonic Crossworlds, to pre-order Sonic Crossworlds. But I hold on to the money for a bit because it was my mom's birthday coming up for that week. And instead of like basically like spending it, you know, for the game itself, I decided to spend it on my sister instead. So, you know, that's pretty much about it. So
who now stand zero chance of casually walking into a store and picking up a somewhat limited booster pack or box. Instead, they're forced into a choice. Do they give in, pay triple the retail price, and knowingly fuel the same system that's pushing them out actively? Or do they walk away entirely, abandoning a hobby that they once cherished because it's simply no longer accessible? That's the trap resale culture creates. It punishes sincerity and rewards exploitation. It forces real fans into a lose-lose situation. Also, someone else can make a shallow profit off of something they never actually cared about in the first place and really have no interest at all. And what makes it worse is that Pokemon or the retailers themselves could really give a shit about anything going on. Sure, yeah, some stores might put a limit to 2 per person signs and have some employees trying to enforce it, but these scalpers ignore them, and really, these rules are never that fully enforced. Scalpers walk away.
I think personally what they should do or so is have the Pokemon cards by the register. Like just have the register have them, and then give them to them for like two per person, you know?
Armfuls, unchecked and unbothered,
or just one
with
per
their
person.
Pokemon. And why should Pokemon,
I think personally 1 per person is better, so then everybody in the line would get at least 1 pack of it. So,
and the business even really care? Their product is flying off of shelves faster than ever, even if it's not going into the hands of actual fans. To them, a sale, it's a sale. Whether it's bought by a kid who's excited to get into Pokemon for the very first time, just like many of us when we were growing up, or by some fat—
dude, look at this, dude. Look at this.
When we were growing up.
Look at this kid just looking at his parents or so, and this fat, look at this fat dude, bro. This guy is in his like, what is he, in his 60s or something? 50s? This guy's buying Pokemon cards? Oh man, dude. Damn, dude, that's sad, man. That's really sad to see that. That's just terribly sad.
Or by some fat, greasy, greedy scalper with a cart full of booster boxes and absolutely zero shame flaunting it as the cash clears the same. There's no distinction between a genuine fan and a culture leech when all Pokemon sees is, oh, this sold out, we should make more. Nobody at the top cares who's actually holding on to it, especially Pokemon, because guys, they're a multi-billion-dollar company. It's honestly just ridiculous seeing the sheer levels of greed some of these scalpers will reach, even if that means starting physical altercations. Pokemon—
I saw this video. This video was so funny to see.
Has these vending machines in some stores, which of course don't limit how many items a person can buy. So what happens? These scalpers just sit out, they camp out all day and stock these machines like Meowth, sensing disaster, just waiting for the moment to pounce and wipe out the entire restock in one go. It's absolutely pathetic and really shameless. These
Pokemon Scalper pushes collector off machine after finishing making their third $1,000 max purchase. What he says next is crazy. What? Are you serious?
people have no goddamn shame, huh? What's even more absurd is how this has sparked a full-fledged turf war amongst scalpers at their local
you know, there's a best way or so to get rid of them from the if they're holding onto the machine like that. So you saw how he was holding onto the machine like that specifically, right? Right here.
What's even more,
you know, the best way to make him let go from that machine, if you're trying to get him out of the way or so, is there's a pressure sensor on the side of his stomach or so, and if you push it hard enough or so, he'll start flinching and let go and start letting go his left side of his body.
Absurd is how this has sparked a full-fledged turf war among scalpers at their local Targets, Walmarts, and Costco's.
Just hit him on the pressure point right there. He'll start flinching immediately.
Screaming, verbally harassing other customers, even throwing punches at each other, all for the chance to grab every last pack and claim.
Some scalpers also destroy the Pokemon vending machines after purchasing by jamming the card reader. They do? What? Are you serious? That is crazy.
Territory as theirs. It's not about the love.
At least luckily over here where I live, we don't have anything like that. So yeah, you basically have to purchase your Pokemon cards at the cashier and everything like that. So
it was never about the love for the product. It's about squeezing maybe $20, maybe $30 profit per item, if that. And once again, they do this instead of avoiding to be employed and having an actual job. They are willing to have physical fights in the Target parking lots, all generally fighting over a children's car game, which has to be the clearest sign of low IQ fools I have ever seen. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, these people, oh my god, they are the bottom barrel scum of any functional society. They're not collectors. They're not investors. Despite themselves thinking that they're some high-level, high-IQ entrepreneurs, no, they're just bums, vultures in a feeding frenzy. If you're in
I think the best way to kind of combat against this is just like not buy from scalpers. Don't even buy from scalpers, you know? I know you want that Pokemon card, but if you hold out long enough or so, you'll definitely make them feel that they have to drop their prices and you will be paying 2, 3, 4 times the price for these cards.
Favor of a mass deportation of all of these scalpers and all of these resellers, then please let me know. These are the types of people who need to be gone from this country. They are the ones deliberately spiking prices on hard-working Americans. So if you see one of these clowns clearing the shelves at your local store, just remember, they're not some strategic genius or business mastermind. Please never think of them in that light. They're just a wild Magikarp.
I think the best way for them to combat this is doing reprints. I think that's definitely what Pokemon should do. Pokemon should just start doing some reprints on some of their cards.
Flopping around for attention, making a bunch of noise, and hoping one day they'll evolve into something more important and valuable to society. Spoiler alert, they never fucking will.
Crazy, honestly. Online orders would solve problems with reprints. Yeah, I think just reprinting, honestly, just reprinting in general is basically like the best way to kind of like, you know, to kind of like show overall. Hey, look, another video of that one VTuber. Yeah, personally, it's just do reprints. If they just do reprints or so of those like specific cards and like in the new set or something like that, it'll definitely make the prices go down and everything. So. But, you know, that's my personal opinion. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh does. Yu-Gi-Oh does many reprints on their cards and like different alternative arts too as well. And we don't have this problem whatsoever. So our marketplace is not volatile like this, you know? So kind of weird in my personal opinion. But hey, you know what? It's not my card game, so that's just my opinion. They do whatever the fuck they want to do at the end of the day if that's what they want, and you know, it is what it is.